My name is John Owen. I'm a mental health consumer and service user from Saxbahaw, Alamance County. I'd like to speak to the area of the health budget that I'm perhaps most familiar with. I understand at least last week we were facing cuts in the medication budget of $25 million state funds to Medicaid. What I want you to understand is that leads us to lose federal matching funds. So in effect, we'll lose $100 million in medication. People who decompensate as a result of that may well wind up in our hospital system if there's room for them. Our hospital system, with the loss of staff, will face further decertification. Cherry is decertified now. Broughton was decertified last year. Central was threatened with decertification because of conditions and, frankly, deaths in the hospital. When people are in the hospital, the state picks up the full tab. When people can't get into the hospital, then they may wind up in jail, which is the increasing option. When people go to jail, the county picks up the full tab. When people are in the community in accordance with the Olmsted Supreme Court ruling, then they may be on Medicaid, they may be on SSI, but they will be receiving federal matching funds as well as state funds. So we really have an incentive to keep people in the community, not to mention the fact that it is the law of the land that people be in the least restrictive environment. And I would say in conclusion that during the Depression, our government created public works programs and it created a safety net. We face the same challenges now, but perhaps people whose parents did not grow up in the Depression have forgotten the lessons we've learned, and therefore we are seeing the unraveling of the social safety network even as we speak. Hopefully our representatives will do their best to prevent that situation, and that we will see some effort at revenue enhancement for the common good. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Brian?
How's everyone doing tonight? Good, good. My name is Brian, and I'm actually interning at Democracy, North Carolina this summer, so take it easy on me. But I'm here to talk a little bit today about public financing for municipal elections and for council of state elections here in North Carolina. And I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and I know you guys are very, very concerned about the budget and what kind of effect that it has on the people of North Carolina. And I just want to say that, you know, and I want to publicly thank Representative Hackett and Senator Atwater for everything that they're doing to advocate public financing. But I wanted to say that we can use public financing to basically work together to try to cut some of these, to try to basically have a tax system that does not burden the lower income individuals in North Carolina, that does not burden those who are working and just trying to create a better life for themselves and their families. It's very important that we create a tax structure here in North Carolina that's progressive and that benefits all the citizens of North Carolina. And I think that it's important that public financing should be considered, at the very least should be considered, because it allows citizens who, you know, sometimes they don't have a whole lot of money, sometimes they do have have money, but they want to be represented by the people of North Carolina. And I think that it's important that we understand that public financing is the way to go, that giant campaign donors that are spending all this money on from special interest and all this excess money they're putting into campaigns, and you have your representatives who are only representing those interests, and that's not conducive to how North Carolina, effective North Carolina representation for the citizens of North Carolina as a whole. So in conclusion, I want to say that, you know, it's very important that we support public financing for our municipal elections, public financing for our council of state elections, and we can band together to say that, you know, we don't support special interests in our politics, and this can get rid of some of the wasteful spending and can cut some of the loopholes, the tax loopholes that, you know, can drive our budgets all the way up in times of crisis like we are in right now. So, you know, I thank you so much for your time tonight, and we have some postcards that we brought from us from Durham and Democracy, North Carolina. If you want to learn more about it, you can come talk to me or Jen Fry or Christina Chinlow on the front row here. But thank you so much for your time, and have a great night.
On behalf of the League of Women Voters, let me just ditto what Brian just said. I'm going to call up a couple people now. Charlene Enns, Carolyn Mova, Shell Kime, and Alexandra Morris, if you just want to kind of just be ready here. Charlene?
My name is Charlene Enns, and I'm an employee at the Family Violence and Rape Crisis Center. I'm also a mother of 2 young children, and my husband works for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So these cuts are very close to me, both professionally and personally. I had not prepared to speak tonight, so I don't have anything in mind. But, you know, I mean, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the state of affairs. I'm concerned, you know, I'm not an economist. You know, I'm a social worker. I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for about 10 years now. And, you know, so I understand when budget cuts happen. I understand people have to take hits. I just hate that it's always seems to be in social welfare aspects. And, you know, I've gotten an email not too long ago about how rape crisis centers were expected to take a hit. And I just feel like we need to look as a society as, you know, what's important to us. And I can't imagine that cutting rape crisis centers from counties is going to help us in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, I just think when we, you know, the other issue that I care deeply about is health care. And I'm just a firm believer that health care should be an inalienable right to every one of us. And it's not right now. And, you know, I just hate that when we talk about large budgets and we talk about, you know, tax money and how that's being spent to, everyone is very quick to say, you know, let's cut the social welfare, when really what we know is that the majority of the percentage of these tax incomes do not go to social welfare programs. So, you know, that's really all that I have to say. I applaud this effort. I applaud things like tonight where we can talk about these issues, and I just really hope that we're able to keep, as an agency, we're able to keep going and serve the community and strengthen families like we have been able to do for so long. So thank you.
Carolyn.
This is Amina, not Carolyn.
Oh.
Grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Can see her. Can you see? Yeah.
My name is Samina, and I am totally deaf. Without cochlear implants and therapy at Castle, sign language would be my only language. I learned to listen and talk at Castle. Castle has deaf children, but also teaches teachers all over the state of North Carolina how to help deaf children listen and talk. Support House Bill 24 and Senate Bill 61 for Castle. Thank you.